Happy Flosstube Friday, friends. My name is Carrie. This is Tiger Lily Designs. Welcome to Flosstube episode number 83. Welcome. Happy Friday the 13th. It is October 13th. It is super spooky. I am back a week late. I know, but life happens and I could not squeeze this floss tube in. But don't worry, I've got a table of contents, all the things, lots of stitching, lots of good stuff. Let's run through it. Let me know what you're going to talk. Let me tell you what we're going to talk about today. So I've got 3, 4, 5 WIPs. I don't know. We'll have to see. I've got some WIPs. I've got some stitchy plans, which involve a couple new starts coming up this week. So that's exciting. I've got a little bit of haul. Might have been shopping. Some Stitchy Kindess. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my weekend, what I've been up to the last 2 weeks. Give you a little bit of the life update as well as a Tiger Lily shop update at the end. That's what I got. So without further ado, let's dive right in, shall we? So stitching. Let's go. This is a big old bag. Yes, because inside this, I have my Stitch vinyl pouch. This was in the April Keeper Club. So that is holding all my wool. I did this weekend, slowly but surely, I drop it. Wool thread in a zipper. Not a good combination. Well, pickles, that's going to be, phew. Okay. Have to make sure I shove that stuff down a little bit further. So I did kit up working on dropping the wool. So I am stitching. What is this? Shall we? Let's talk about it. This is Jane Parsons 141 sampler from the Wishing Thorn. And like I said, I have it all in here because the wool is thick. It comes like this in the kit. So you can get either Jenny Thompson flower thread, the flower stuff, or the wool. And so I got the wool. And it comes big chunky skeins, and I had to put it on drops, and I was just trying to do that, get a little ahead of myself, although I'm still only a couple colors in. But this weekend I got lots of stitching time in Clemson Lakeside, and I was able to get the border to meet. Now, yep, sorry. Yeah, okay, good. There it is. I know I didn't iron. I know, so don't be sad. Don't be mad or sad. So if you have been here before, you know that I had a counting error. Last time I showed it to you, this, and ignore my nails, this flower was going to butt right into that. So what I had is I had to go and find my error. I think I was missing one stitch right here to bring everything over, and that's all it needed. So thankfully, I'm not a huge fan of frogging. I'm just going to be real honest with you. I'm more of a fudger than a frogger. And I'm team fudge. Let me know in the comments down below. Are you team frog or team fudge? Maybe I need to get shirts made. So I'm team fudge 90% of the time. But when it has to do with a border that's kind of like the foundation of a house, you don't fudge it, right? You go back and you take your medicine, and I undid. Thankfully, it was only like 20 or 30 stitches. It came out real easy because this is on the 28 count casual linen that comes in the kit. So with Jane, you can either get the chart or the kit. I think she has it kitted up like 3 or 4 different ways. DMC, regular overdyed, wool, floss, there's lots of, and my friend Karen, Recovering Monogamous Stitcher, I think she finished this. I need to go check the hashtag. We have a hashtag. I will put it right here. We had a little Jane SAL going on, and she was just like needles on fire, lightning speed, crushing it. I met my border. So that's my crushing it category for today. And I'm happy with it. Because like I'll tell you, it's been busy, but that is the progress I made on Sweet Jane. And let's see, what else have I been stitching on? So this is another one that my pumpkin bag. I love my pumpkin. So can you guess what's inside? Yes, I know. It's a hard one. It's really not that hard. So I know I had to fold my card because it went into one of my mini keepers. So this is the pumpkin house from my sweet friend. Hello from Liz Matthews. It's a gorgeous chart. We've got a SAL going on. I have a Forbidden Fiber Co. floss conversion. I've received a couple questions, so I just wanted to clarify right here. If you were looking for the Forbidden Fiber Co. Tiger Lily floss conversion, hold on, I'll show you. It looks like this. This is how it will come to you from Forbidden Fiber Co. And if you are looking for that conversion, it is not on the Tiger Lily website. It is on Forbidden Fiber Co.'s website. And last I checked, she still had some in stock. I think sometimes it sells out, but then she restocks it. At least she has historically. So we're just gonna keep going. So here is my project information card showing you my full floss conversion. Started this on August 23rd. I'm stitching it on 16 count fiber on a whim stream, and picture this plus fog. Now, because it's the two fabrics, I have not started the fog one. I'm still working on the blue area, and that is, you know, slow and steady. Doesn't win the race. There is no race in cross stitch, but slow and steady gets the stitches in. Look at the house. It's coming together. I am so excited about the way the cobblestone is coming together. So it looks like a cobblestone house, right? And then there's all these different cobblestones, and it's just outlined in white. So my plan is to do all the white. Now there are 3. I'm going to be in true Tiger Lily transparency with you, because that's how I roll here. So this house, adorable. And it's 3 different colors of stones. And so I charted 3 different colors of stones, or I converted to Forbidden Fiber Co. floss, beautiful overdyed hand-dyed Leanne down in Tennessee. Love her floss. And so it's 3 different cobblestones. Now, I am excited to get this in what I'm going to call fill-in, because I'm just going to pick and patch. I'm going to go here and here and here. I'm not, take a little bit of creative liberty. Liz's stones are fabulous. I'm going to just stone it up myself. So I'm doing the white fill-in first, and then I'm going to take my 3 stone colors and kind of just go boop, 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 and just pop all around and fill it in. Super excited. Once I get to that part, this guy is going to go speedy quick. Now, I still am missing, I have to do the border, and there's flowers, and then there's the whole bottom. Have you seen Brijin? Brijin, the museum stitcher, she did this part first. Gorgeous. Maybe we just should merge ours together. What do you think? I want to get this done by Halloween, but it is October 13th already. So I have realistic expectations that it will not be finished this year, but it will be fantastic for next year. Yeah? Okay. So that is my third. Oh, hold on. If I don't put things back in the bag as I'm doing it, it'll become a disaster. And the table is already a disaster, so let's just be honest. So I do have 2 other stitches that I actually stitched on this week to share with you. So one, I pulled out something. This is an oldie but a goodie, but I feel like it is getting its own resurgence. So this is Feast of Friendship. Now, Handmade by Sarah W. and I, we started this last year as a Friendsgiving SAL, November 2022. We started this. Sarah is way further along, but there's a lot of people that are starting it now. Room at the Table, I think, is the SAL. It's adorable. I love seeing everybody's choices. The real thing, first of all, the gorgeous colors associated with this chart. Gorgeous. I did do a little bit of a conversion, which is why there's a tracker card. I changed some of this house, and I'm sure people have talked, this house is actually 3 different blues. Now, if you've been here, you know that on Harriet was 2 reds. I made it 1 red. I am not doing 1 blue. This is a lot of blue. And so what I did is I went to my LNS and I picked 3 blues that I liked rather than, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't just go for the called for blues, but I didn't. Maybe I'm weird. I like to make it my own. So the 3 blues that I changed to are Freedom, Midnight, and Fathom, I think. And Fathom. So those are the 3 blues. And my sweet friend Sarah made me, these are my favorite things ever. She makes me, whenever we do a SAL, she makes us these cute laminated floss symbol chart things for reference. So we don't have to just reference back to see, if you do a floss conversion, sometimes it gets a little complicated because you have to reference, I can't show you. You have to reference the chart, and then you have to go reference your tracker card because you changed all the colors. Yeah. And so this way it's one-stop shopping. Anyway, I got some stitching in on this, still have a long way to go, but I got the border in. I know. Floss Boss and Cousins. She had a feast of friendship. It didn't fit. I was so struggling for her. I was feeling it. But I counted. I did the border this way. And then I started working on one square of the house last night. Just to do a little bit of fill-in. That was where my brain was. I could have filled in the pumpkin, but I felt like I wanted to do that. So I am stitching mine. Look at that beautiful fabric. This is LFA linen from Sue. It is 16 counts Millstone. Millstone was one of their Fabric of the Month Club colors from 2022. They don't have a Fabric of the Month Club anymore. Now you just buy it when you're lucky, when you get it from Rachel at Treehouse Fiber Arts. Sue is back dyeing, although I think she's sticking with the yarn right now. Not quite sure when fabric is coming into the dye pots, but hopefully soon. And you can grab some LFA Ada/linen from Treehouse Fiber Arts. I will link everything down below. I link my friends, my type floss tubers that I talk about, friends I talk about, shops I talk about, products I talk about, all the things. I try to link everything down below, so it's super easy. You can just click, shop, go. Maybe. One more stitch for you. Let's see. This is for my sweet friend Alicia's birthday sal. I forget what her hashtag is. It's something fabulous. It has to do with Alicia's birthday sal. I'll put it down here if I remember, or if I go in and figure it out. This is the Rose and the Giant Pear. This is kind of a huge resurgence. This has been out for a while, but I know there's lots of friends joining for Alicia's birthday. It is deceivingly small, which I love because I am stitching this on linen. I am stitching this on Espresso 36 R&R that I got from Hollis Hands Creates. Love her shop. So fast, so fantastic. So all I've got so far, and my floss is a hot mess express, but we're just going to go with it, is I just kept working on the border. Well, that doesn't look like it's got, okay, good. I was like, is that blue supposed to be lined up? No, it's not. It's not. Don't worry. I was hoping to have another border meet celebration because I certainly don't want to get too far until my borders meet again. Why? This little bobble is higher than this little bobble. Maybe not. So deceiving. The wrinkles make it deceiving as well as, yeah. But anyway, so I've got some stitching done. Love the Pear. And I am stitching mine with the Vicki Clayton silk conversion. Now, we've talked about this before, is that my Vicki Clayton silks used to be, have you gotten your summer blocks? Watermelon. I know I need the Pear. But anyway, this is a cute little, I had this as a freebie, how to make this block on my channel. You can go. Anyway, but we talked about how the Vicki Clayton silks come on the cute little, they look like bobbins. I'm a sewing machine girl, so they look like bobbins to me. Wound silver or sewing thread bobbins, silk floss, right? And so, but, there's no, with the spool of thread, there's a little notch in the plastic, wood, whatever, to grab your thread and hold it. There isn't such a thing in the Vicki Clayton spools, the bobbins. So the floss was getting all disheveled and it was a mess. Let's just be honest. In the bottom of the bag, because I'm stitching this on 36 count, so I'm using 1 strand over 2. And so 6-stranded silks. Yes, for the blue and the red, which is why there was blue and red thread on the fabric. I, just pull the whole 6 strands and then I sew the 6 strands until I'm done. But when I was doing the Pear, there were some colors where I only ended up using 2 or 3 strands. Well, if there's 6 strands, there's 3 strands left, and this is silk. This is not something that you just toss in your ort jar. I do that with DMC. I'm just going to be real honest. If I have 6 strands, I only use 3. I do not try to keep track of those 3 strands of DMC. It goes right into the ort jar. No problem. But when you're talking about silk or fancy overdyed, I'd like to have a better system because you're paying for it, right? So anyway, so the spools, it was kind of disheveled, hot mess in the bottom of the bag. And I was like, this needs a better system. Now, my sweet friend Shellie is sending me this adorable box. I'm super excited to see it. That actually looks like it's perfect for the little silk spools. Not bobbins, but the spools. I don't have any of those projects yet, perfect time for me to try one, right? But in the meantime, did go to Hobby Lobby this week. And so I have a Hobby Lobby haul to share with you. Might be fun. Might be some fabulous things you need to add to your, so stay tuned. But one item I bought at Hobby Lobby didn't even stay in the haul bag. It went right into the project bag. But I did leave the tag on it in case it's like, you need it. So I haven't taken the tag off. So this was a cute in the plastic organizational. So I looked in the bobbin box area. It was not there. There wasn't anything. There was a bobbin box there and it held 25. And if I had thought about it more, but this visually looked like this might work. Now, of course, when I went to Hobby Lobby, I didn't remember how many spools of thread, how many bobbins, nobody knew any of that. Nobody knew. So I just guessed. It was $1.99. Worst thing that happened, I'll use it somewhere else in my like beading storage or something else. I could use it somewhere else if it didn't work. So I took a chance. So Hobby Lobby, $1.99. So excited. Do you see? It's like, okay, there's the spools. It is perfect. Now, I did, like I said, kit it up or put it right into use. You got to be careful. The hinge is kind of clicky. Anyway, it works just fine. Yeah, red hands. Did you see? That was on yesterday's Instagram stories. They're still a little red. Now, you'll see this divider. There was a divider here, right? Where these two spools are going sideways. There was a divider. If the divider stayed there, this container was only going to hold 16 spools. Bobbins, spools, whatever we're calling these things. This container was only going to hold 16 Vicki Clayton silks if I left the divider there. It looked cute, super fantastic, but I had 2 more bobbins of Vicki Clayton silks. So I was like, I wonder what will happen if you take out the spool or take out the divider, and what happens? 2 full spools fit there perfectly. So it's a little... I wish it had one more row. Actually, one more row. So this is actually perfect. Perfect. 16 would fit perfectly in this container, but 18 works. You could probably do the same trick right here and right here if you had to, maybe just once. The pockets look a little smaller. So if it's a small project, or at least a project that doesn't have more than 16, 18, maybe 20 colors, this little box, and of course it's got a hot pink clip, so I love it. So that way, see this little random floss, you can see some of the floss like sticking up. That's because I wrapped the 3 extra strands around the spool, but now they're not all loosey-goosey in the bottom of the project bag, so they can get all lost and disheveled and hot mess express. They stay contained, and I'm so excited about it. So if you're doing this with the Vicki Clayton silks, or if you have a Vicki Clayton silk, like, first of all, love these silks. We'll definitely be kitting up more projects with it. So I have to, now that I've tested this product, this Hobby Lobby box, I'm going to have to go and add some more to my stash so that I'm ready for the next Vicki Clayton silk kit. So that is the end of my finished stitching WIP portion of the program. There's more stitching though, because I've got some plans. Are you ready for some stitching plans? Which really means let's just talk about some other charts that I have kitted up, ready to go, and that will be started. I'm pretty sure all 3 of them will be started in the next week. Wow, lots of plans, lots of things to do. One of them, this is about as far as I've kitted it up. Step 1, get chart. Sarah and Jen from Stitchy Friends are doing a We Santa 2023 stitch along. I am totally in. This is as far as I've gotten with my in. Actually, I've gotten one step further. I have started my project information card. Now, why have I started this? Well, welcome. In true Tiger Lily fashion, I will not be using the called for floss. It's just not how I roll. So my process in which to do things to convert is step 1, identify all the colors. Now, this We Santa is adorable, right? Like, everybody's seen it. Chantel, I think, still has kits. They're putting it on a bender backer board. Adorable. I don't know if she's kitting it up with the fabric or there's no fabric. Floss, chart, board, all in one, add to cart, do it. From Chantel 141. Or you can get the chart and go rogue like me if you want. Like, welcome. Rogue is cool. So this chart is 71 by 79. So it is a itty bitty cutie pie. And I'm definitely going to make it a Christmas ornament. And so I have to figure out the dimensions on what fabric, like I said, no fabric yet. I have to figure out what fabric I'm going to put it on. But in the meantime, so if I put it on 20 or 40, approximately it'll be a 4" by 4" square. I mean, math. But so that's a good ornament. I can get on board with that. So that's probably what I'm going to have to do, either 20 or 40. I'll have to figure out but go to my stash and see what I have. A whole remnant, although I don't have any remnants yet of 40. Anyway, I have to figure out the fabric, but I'm doing them on an ornament. But step 2 is let's look at the floss. Now let's, again, tiny cutie little pie. Heart and Hand is known for beautiful colors, but in a stitch this tiny, it's got 12 colors. That's a lot. I'm gonna be real honest with you. That's a lot of colors. And of course it's all charted in Fancy Floss. It does have a DMC conversion, so yay, but 12 colors. So let's look at the colors, shall we? Which is what I do first when I'm doing a color conversion, because I always like to, now I didn't learn it. I adopted this terminology from Katie Strachan. I watched this video just this morning. She called it condensing. Love that. Love it. She does a lot of color conversions for her. She converts to silks, which are gorgeous. She's got kids. I just found her and now I've gone down the rabbit hole of Miss Katie. But I love everything she does. And she is very cognizant of sometimes when she switches everything to silks can be expensive. Yes. And so being able to condense a chart that has 15 to 20 colors to maybe 10 is a lot more cost effective, especially when you're talking about silks. I agree 100%. And I even think so much, it's the same. Overdyes, which are my jam, are also not cheap. $2.70 a piece, that's not cheap. I mean, compared to, you get DMC on sale at Joann's, I don't know, 60, 70. Okay, anywho, I like to condense too. Love that term, by the way. And so what I do is I was like, okay, let's just see what we got going on. So in case you want to think about condensing, pulling from stash, what do you need to pull for the wee Santa? There's a black, a white, a blue, and a gray. There's only one of each, so there's no condensing or combining of those colors. Black, white, blue, right? And the gray is this stripe right up the middle. Okay. Then there are 2 reds, 2 pinky pinks, 2 skin tony blushy peachy pinks, and 2 greens. Now, you can't just combine 2, 2, 2, 2 and reduce them all by, you can't do that. Because why? Why not? Well, so example, this flower right here, those are the 2 shades of red. Now you could totally just do a red and a pink. Might be what I do now that I think about it. So this is a red, and the 2 pinks. So you're going to lose some of the integrity of the design if you combine those things. But for example, one of the colors is 4 stitches. Now, if I change it, I got no problem going and grabbing a DMC from stash, pulling out 1 strand of thread because it's 4 stitches. But do not go and kit up the overdyes for 4 stitches. I mean, you can if it's from stash, cool. But if you just add to cart at 1, 2, 3, that would so make me angry. I mean, not angry. It's great. It will go on my stash. It'll be fine. But 4 stitches. And one of the 4 stitches are his nose. So there's the flesh tony skin peachy color, which is also used down in these flowers. So you need it a little bit, right? Okay, I kind of get on board with that. But his nose, just to give his nose some definition, it's 4 stitches of another color. Something to think about. And then there are 2 greens. Now there definitely does not need to be 2 greens. The stems can all be the same color. Check, check. So that's all I've done so far is I've just identified the colors. I'm so excited. So if you are in the Tiger Lily Keeper Club, get excited. If you haven't used them yet, if you have used them, then, you can still be excited. But, okay, so I have a few extra of the custom floss that Forbidden Fiber Co. did for my July box. Look at this beautiful red. This was Helen's China Rose. This is my peach. This is one of the pinks, and this is going to be one of the pinks. I think the Tiger Lily Party Pink is going to be a little much for this. So I think these 3 colors from the July Keeper box, 100%, I will be putting somewhere in this chart. So there's 3 down. I still have more to go. I don't remember when it starts. October something. 15? 13. Today? Sometime soon. I'm going to have to research that and get on it so I can be prepared to start with all my friends. Okay, so that is a start that I have, that I've been working on. One other one that I have kitted up. This is my, before it goes into a pretty project bag. These are I got these from Amazon. So I would link, I have an Amazon linky box down below as well, because there's actually a couple things today we're going to talk about that I got there that are fantastic. So these are going to be down below. This is my pre-stitch. So at the best of intentions, Sarah and I have been talking about doing this chart, I don't know, since it came out in August. I think it might have come out as an exclusive somewhere. I don't remember. I feel like recently. I feel like this was the recent. Sarah, was it recent? Yeah, it was. Listen, it could have been 2 weeks ago. It could have been 12 weeks ago. But when we saw it, we're like, yes, please. And so I kitted this up. Now, again, I actually had it fully kitted. Hot Mess Express, don't you think? Because I did a full Tiger Lily custom color conversion. It is called for Dinky Dyes. Now, it's Dinky Dyes or a DMC conversion. Now, when you look at the picture, let me take it out. When you look at the picture, I just want you to think about it. Just think about it. So you look at this picture. Do you see this bee's little bottom? And then the wings, see all the color variegation and the movement? Like, see this little chunk of dark? That's not like a different color. That's just the variegation in the bee butt color or the wing, the movement. And that's all Dinky Dyes. Like I said, it's charted for all in Dinky Dyes. Now, I could have maybe 1, 2, 3 does Dinky. I've never stitched with Dinky Dyes. 8 silk. And this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14 colors of silk for a tiny little stitch. Well, 113 by 147, a medium-sized little stitch. I wasn't going to invest in it. And so I wanted to, but I loved I love overdyed. So I love the movement that the color variegations give you. And so I wasn't going to just pull the DMCs. I could pull it for some areas. DMCs are perfect, but like, see that leaf? See all that variegation in that leaf? You would not get that if you just did the DMC. So any whoosie whatsy. I did the same thing I did before that I just told you about my process and identifying the colors and such and so forth. Went to my floss wall, which we're going to have a floss wall reorg. We're going to talk about it in a little bit, but I'm so excited about it. And then it's going to be a whole new shift. Maybe you've seen in the background of my Instagram stories, like this frame clipboard. Anyway, I'm excited for my organization. It's coming sometime soon. So what I did, because this is a small project, relatively, crap ton of colors, so you don't need a lot of each color, I went ahead and I pulled from my stash all the colors I wanted. Now, as you will see, and then I made myself one of these cute, now my sweet friend Sarah, I love doing this. Sarah sent me a card. She just sends me cards. I forget what it was for, but it was for something. And of course I keep all of my cards. Now I usually don't put holes in them, but I was like, okay, this is going to be a fantastic SAL with Sarah. So how perfect would it be if my thread droppy card was from one of the cards that she sent me? So it was perfect. So then I took my half hole punch, which I'll link down below, greatest purchase ever, and just added the floss. Now, like I said, I had this all kitted up because I had the best of intentions of starting it. I think we were supposed to start it last Friday. Sarah did. We talked about it. We're like, okay, are we starting? We're starting. And I said, yeah, we're going to start tomorrow. Shockingly, this is as far as I've gotten, but I feel like I'm pretty good with it. So I just love, I've charted a lot of, like I said, pulled from stash. There's overdyeds. A lot of them were in Harriet Hay, so I had some left over. Then there's some Mauve silks. You know that I love a good Mauve silk sale. And so I just pulled from stash. And then I also, in my stash, how yummy! first of all. Yummy. This is just in my stash. What color was it? Let me looky-loo. It is 16 count. Picture this plus Da Vinci. Oh, so gorgeous. So that's my bee, my autumn bee. It's going to be adorable. And I'm going to start it today, tomorrow, sometime soon. By next week, I'm going to have a stitch in it to show you. So step one, you know, when you do a color conversion, sometimes it takes a hot minute to kit things up. I'm just going to say. So that is another new start that is coming. And I have one more plan. All right. So one more plan. This is my favorite SAL start, my new start for October. I'm so excited. My sweet friend Shellie, the Antique Needleworkers, she's got a big birthday coming up. T-minus 5 days. She's calling it the double nickel. I'm going to put it right here. It's an adorable hashtag. Something about double nickels. She's turning 55, right? Yeah. It did not stick my hand. Alicia's like, I can't take you seriously. You stuck your hands in cherries. I didn't. I painted. I'll show you what I painted with later. But she is starting a birthday start. I love a good birthday start. I'm in for it. So I told her, like, you need a birthday start. What is it? And so she picked, and she shared with she shared on her last Flosstube what it is. So hopefully you saw that and you're kitting it up. I got mine from 123 Stitch. This is part of my haul. I got this from 123 Stitch. So you just add to cart, and in a un-Tiger Lily-like manner, because I just wanted something simple, I added the floss to cart. So yes, don't fall out of your chair, friends. I am using the call for colors. They're gorgeous though, right? It's all Weeks Dye Works. And that is just gorgeous. So those are pretty. Now, my next struggle, I did not add the fabric to, I'm starting to build up a little stash of fabric. Well, I had a stash of Ada, let's just be honest. I'm starting to add to my linen collection. And so I wanted to hopefully be able to pull from stash, and I was able to. Now let's see if I can even, oh, did I write down? Oh, thank goodness gracious, because I'm not good at this yet. So I did, was able to pull from stash. Alicia, don't fall out of your chair. This is not an SOS. You're okay. I am stitching mine on 40 count Dames of the Needle cow fodder. So the chart measures 140 by 167. So it's a 7 by 8.4 is so it's going to be great. Oof, I'm so excited. So my biggest concern with pulling fabric on this was the white house and the white flowers. You know, we all know that if you're going to stitch white, you definitely want it to show up, right? Like, look at that. So it's called for Weeks Cocoa linen. I just didn't have any Weeks. And like I said, I wanted to start pulling from the stash that I have been collecting. I might have added to my collection this week too, just because it's fun. So like the white house, and look at all those white flowers. So the white is actually parchment. And my key for floss tossing, and I put a pin, because when I serged this, I serged my piece because I feel like I have a serger, thank goodness, but I don't usually, always, sometimes not, serge any of my small or medium projects that are in Ada, because Ada doesn't shred or unravel as much as I feel like linen does. My linen, either because I'm handling it so aggressively, I don't know, or maybe it's just the nature of the beast, but I feel like it's unraveling a lot quicker. So I definitely am cognizant and want to serge all of my linen projects before they go into a project bag, because otherwise, you know, I do a tight margin anyway. I'm not a fan of, I don't have a 3-inch margin all around because I frame myself. And so I'd rather just squeeze it out a little bit. So I usually try to do 2-inch. Sometimes I'll do 1.5 if I know what I'm going to do with it. Anyway, so I don't have any room for losing via non-serge fabric. What a story. So anyway, so I serged this, and when I looked at it, it's like, oh, that is almost a square, but not a square. And so if I don't put where the top is, then what if I start this way and then it's not good? So I serged it. I cut my piece, gave myself, I don't know, I'm guessing a 2-inch margin. approximately. Like I said, it's Danes of the Needle 40 count fodder. And see, look, parchment is going to be gorgeous. So that is my new start. So that is Shellie's birthday sale. It is starting right now. It's still just kitted up in a bag. I got to find a pretty project bag for it. And we start that on October 18th. So that's exciting. So that's another new start for this week. Woo, lots of new starts this week. That is all the stitching starts and whips and things. So let's just dive in a little bit. Let's just talk about what's in front of me. So right in here in front of me, I have, we'll do a little bit of haul. So like I mentioned, I did go to my LNS. My LNS is InStitches here in Mount Vernon, Virginia. It was so fantastic. I had to pop in there to get 4 floss. I'm going to be real honest. I never just come out with the thing. It's like going to Target, but more better. I never just go in there and get what's on my list. My list was 4 floss. I needed it for a secret project. Spoiler alert, follow me on Instagram within the next week because there's going to be something so exciting. I can't wait to share it with you. It is all done and I can't, like, I'm beyond, like, it's all I can do to not tell you about it now, but I'm not gonna. So exciting though. So I needed 4 floss for this secret project. And I went in there. I was like, secret project. I just need these 4 things. And I walked out. But then, you know, you always just have, I perused the charts. I feel pretty good about, like, you know, nothing new on my radar. I've been watching. So I felt pretty good about that. But fabric is always so much more fun to buy in person. Sometimes you just have to shop online and that's all there is to it. And then that's an instance, for example, that I love being enabled by my Flosstube friends, because there's a lot of Etsy dyers and like Dames of the Needle cow fodder. Thanks, Shellie, because she showed a Etsy haul and I immediately paused the video, went to Etsy, bought some stuff. I'm gonna be honest, I definitely took advantage of the Etsy sale this week with some fabric I had in my wish list cart situation. I was like, well, if Etsy's gonna give me a coupon, it's like begging me to do this. So I did. But there's some instances where you just gotta wanna see what's there. Okay, so hold your horses and get ready to write it down, pause the video, call the people, tell them Tiger Lily sent you if you want to. But have you ever been looking? Okay, so Lakeside linen. Yes, I warranted 2 bags worth of, they gave me the bags because I might have bought a lot. So Lakeside linen is a hard linen to get. So I've heard. Like, you can't go on Etsy and find it. You can't go on the Google and find it. A, it's hard because the colors are kind of tricky. And then B, it's just hard for people to keep in stash. But somehow my LNS InStitches has a hookup. I don't know. Now, it does go in and out. So I went up to the counter. I was like, can I see your 40 count bucket? Well, the 40 count bucket was basically empty. There was 1 or 2 fabrics. I'm not a huge yellow buttercream. Anyway, so it didn't, nothing, well, actually 1 color spoke to me, but then I switched it to 36 because it was, and that's the thing is, well, let's just talk about it. One of them I switched to, so then we pulled out the 36 bucket, and the 32 bucket. I went in there Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday. This week, within the last 1 to 3, 4 days, I was in there. So it's not crazy yet. They had a bonkers stash of 36 and 32. Just saying, if you're looking for it. This is called Vintage Cedar Plank. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. This was the one that I picked out of the 40 bucket. And I was like, this is gorgeous. Now, we've talked about it before. I did not bring the chart, but the pecan, that is not what it's called. That was me just merging 2 words together. The peacock, the unicorn, the pecan. The peacock, the unicorn, and the badger. That ginormous chart. I have the chart. Step 1, buy chart. Step 2, find fabric, because I'm not stitching it as a full coverage, which is how it's charted, because it's like a needlepoint tapestry situation, I think, reproduction. But I'm not stitching it that way because I want to stitch other things before I die. And this is going to take all the, anywho. That one, chart, gorgeous. Yes. So I'm always looking. That's the thing, you have to shop in person. Like online computer is not going to do it. And so when I saw this vintage cedar plank, it was in the 40 count bucket. But then we pulled it out in 36 and it was even better. Better meaning that the colors. So yes, this is a ginormous piece because that chart is ginormous. Like I said, will I stitch anything else before I die? I don't know. Probably start a couple things. But look at that. It's gorgeous. So Lakeside linen is the linen that I started on. It is like my OG. My OG linen, A, because it's right here in InStitches. And I did that cute little ornament. Let me grab it. Well, I figured since I was going to go grab things, I might as well just bring the pecan. We're just going to call it the peacorn. It's the peacorn sampler. That's peacock and unicorn combined, in case you are new here. But look, see this black, this dark color? That's all stitches. Ain't nobody gonna do that. So I wanted a dark enough fabric that all those beautiful colors. Do I know if I'm doing the DMC or Vicky Clayton? No, not yet. But step one, fabric. And I found it. So this, like I said, this was my OG fabric. I tried it, and this is why I paused it, to show you. So this was my cute, this is my first, and it was hanging right there. That's why I had it in eye line, and I was like, I'll just go grab it. This is my first ever, so proud of myself, 36 count linen stitch 1/2, and this is Lakeside River Willow. They had this too in the bucket. It is beautiful. Beautiful for Christmas. Primmy, look at that green. Oh, okay. I need to stitch more of those. I love those. Okay, so that was haul number 1. That one had a purpose. So I was excited about it. And it was a ginormous piece because I don't know how big it is. It's ginormous. But since I was there and there was other linens there, and you know, you just never know when it's going to be there. So you have to take advantage when you see it. And so I did. So just in case you want to, let me show you a couple of the other colors. All of these, they still have the colors of when I was there last. So this is Lakeside. It says Bisque. And it's a beautiful, it's not, it doesn't look, I can't tell if it looks solid or not, but it's got just enough variegate, but it's very light, very classic, kind of a creamy white. I call this like Snow White because it's not like white in your face and it doesn't have any yellow tinge. It's kind of like a, I don't know. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous. So that's 36 count Bisque by Lakeside. And then I also, I didn't know I bought, well, I mean, like I'm at the cutting counter. Might have been buying a little too much fabric, and then this lady comes up and she's talking to me. Her name is Jerry, and Jerry's like, so, you know, excuse me, but do you have a Flosstube channel? And I was like, yes, I do. She could tell from my voice. Now, of course, I wasn't being loud or, you know, listen. Naturally, I just speak a little loud, but I was excited. I was excited about all the fabrics. So me and the cutting gal, Jan, she was also new to, we were just, you know, chit-chatting. We were hucking it up. Okay, let's just look. So gorgeous. Now this one, in case you want to go, this is Vintage Exemplar. Lakeside linen, 36 count vintage exemplar. And so I got an 18 by 37 piece of that because it's just a beautiful mod. Oh, gorgeous, gorgeous. And then I had to get this one too. This was 36 count. Like I said, the 36 count bucket was on point. This is vintage porcelain. So compared to the Bisque, can you see? It's kind of, oh, that's fun. So it's kind of have a pinky, but listen, it's not tiger lily pink, but a subtle pinky porcelain, like skin porcelain. I don't know. Peachy, not peach. It's a beautiful, beautiful color is the moral of the story. It's called porcelain. It's 36 count. And then I do have one other fabric, only because I was enabled by Miss Jan at the cutting counter and she's like, this is gorgeous, da, 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 Lakeside. Had a couple things. And she's like, have you ever tried Seraphim? It's my favorite. I was like, well, no, I've never stitched on Seraphim linen. Well, so then we had to pull out the Seraphim bucket just because I had to see, I mean, right? So beautiful colors. They're a lot more modeled. Like Lakeside is perfect for my samplers. But sometimes you want something a little funky, right? And so this was it's called Harvest Blessings. And this is Seraphim. I took the last piece of it, so they won't have this. But this is 36 count Harvest Blessings. And I just thought, okay, so you see the brown, you see the red, you see the green. So whether it's like a funky turkey, although I don't know if I'm going to stitch a turkey. But I also, depending on where you go, like it could be a very prim, because of the red and the green, I kind of see Christmas, like in a primmy kind of way. I don't know. It was just the super one that spoke to me. And I was like, I love that with the greens and the browns and the reds and the could be Christmas, but it could be fall. It could be autumn. I don't know. Oh, you know, Feast of Friendship would have been beautiful in this if it wasn't already far enough along. But I'm sure there'll be something like that coming up someday. So that was my haul from InStitches. Fantastic. So let's stay with the haul portion of the program just for a hot minute. So remember I mentioned to you I also went to Hobby Lobby this week and I got a stack of goodies that were there just in case you want to pop in and get some before it goes crazy and it's gone. So step one was, why are my hands red? Why are my fingertips red? Because Miss Chantel from 141 showed, have you seen? If not, you need to go back and find it on the YouTube. She's doing this pumpkins grow, the chart, beautiful. But she's got a panorama, she's got a custom board for it. She used the black stain. The moral of the story is she showed this gorgeous color wash. Let me take my face out so you can see. Color wash tint that you get at Hobby Lobby. Fantastic. So I might have bought a rainbow assortment package of it because my ornament box maker moment box kit is coming and I need to be prepared. And so then I was working on something else with it. So I got pink and white and black and green and blue and blue. Yes. So many fun tints. I can't show you what I was making with the red, but it's coming and it's so fun. Wear gloves because it doesn't come off. I mean, maybe it will. There was a lot of people giving me tips about rubbing alcohol and hand sanitizer and lava soap and nail polish remover, none of which I've done because this was just yesterday. And I just kept going around with red fingertips and it was fine. Well, then I got my gloves out and we were good. But anyway, so that's what I went to Hobby Lobby for. Step one, that's what I went to Hobby Lobby for. What I came out with was a little bit more than just the tint. Thank you so much, Chantel, for enabling. Now, I'm super excited. I can't wait to show it to you because this year I'm going to have a Christmas tree in the studio. I'm so excited. Right now we're a 2 Christmas tree household. We're going to be 3. We're going to be 3 and I'm okay with it. Because it's in my studio. Of course I'm okay with that. I got my big family tree. I've got my Clemson tree, of course. And now I'm going to have my studio tree. So I didn't have a tree yet. So Hobby Lobby had all their trees out. They were gorgeous. Me and my mom walked around the aisles like 10 times. Narrowed it down to this tree. So I got myself a tree. It's fantastic. Can I put up Christmas now? I might just do it after the October box is gone because then I'll have the room for it. I'm excited. So I got a tree. Can't show you that. It's in a box. It's a big white box. Then I also got 2 of these. Now, why did I get these, you ask? Well, because these, they're $5.99 and $9.99. Okay. Half price. Everything Christmas is half price. Okay. This is what I use to do a little, I brought one of these that was over there, just to go a little bling bling. So you just snip. So I can probably do like 10 ornaments with one of these. You just snip this off. It's a wire cutter. You just snip, hot glue, add some little doodaddy things or a bow or a button, whatever you want to do. Anyway, so I just needed some more greenery because I'm going to be finishing ornaments like it's my jam. So I got 2 of these at Hobby Lobby in preparation for that. So that, and then while I was there, I always, if I remember, I take my finishing bag with me. And what does that mean? That means, remember that Amazon plastic project baggie thing? I put stitches that I want to finish, unless it's a big girl, smaller, medium, small, are in that bag. There's a tape measure in that bag, as well as like the 3, 4, 5 finishes that I'm always on the lookout for a finishing board. Sometimes I know how I'm going to finish something before I start it. Sometimes I finish it into a pillow so I don't need anything. But then other times I'm like, okay, I just have to wait till I find the perfect piece. I don't know if it's going to fit. I could have the measurements. Anyway, I usually bring that at least when I go to Hobby Lobby, because we all know Hobby Lobby's wall decor, table decor area situation is very inspirational. And so if you have your piece and your tape measure, sometimes magic happens. And I'm going to be honest with you, I feel this is pretty magical. So I showed you this finish, I don't know when. Sometime this year, I think, is when I finished it. I don't know. I have to go back to my tracker card. But I hadn't found how I was going to finish her off. But then I found this stain. It looks like a church window type of situation. This was table decor, wall decor, Hobby Lobby. So cute. I had the best of intentions of actually having it finished, but, you know, busy. So it's going to go right there, and then I'll probably do a fabric and maybe rickrack, maybe a bow, maybe not. I don't know. But the moral of the story is that was perfect. Add it to cart. I was so excited when I found this. I think it's going to look great, and it's going to hang in my studio somewhere. So I got that finishing piece. I just have to put it together. And of course, you always go down the sale aisle. At least I always go down. Like, so they always do, I think it was spring decor, I think. Wall decor. Well, it's just wall decor. Ow! Bought myself in the face. Dry. Really? Laundry room decor, I guess. It was $1.50. 90% off. Okay. Add that to stash. So sometimes I like to buy things when I have the finish, and then sometimes I like to buy things when they're like 90% off. So this is another one. This was one I got for 90%. This was a $40 wall decor piece that I got for $4. 90% off. Fantastic. I have no idea what's going to go in there. I don't know if it's going to be square, circle, whatever. Didn't matter. It was $4. It'll go in my stash, and it'll be perfect for something someday. Someday! It'll be perfect. So I was able to add that to, that's my Hobby Lobby haul. So, all right. So some Stitchy Kindess just for funsies. I wanted to show you, this was so adorable. Look at this stitched card. Okay, and of course I kept this because it's orange and pink. Are you kidding me? This was a wax seal. Yes, I have almost gone down the wax seal rabbit hole. And now that I see this orange and pink, it was on the back of this card. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I think I just love it. Maybe, yeah. Love it. So this was a thank you card from Katie. She won one of the giveaways from the 10K extravaganza. But I love this stitchy card, and it's my colors. Gorgeous. Love that. And then also, now, let me give you a little bit of backstory so this makes sense to you. This is in my Sue bonnet, and this is Dorothy's Sampler. Now, it's been a hot minute since we've talked about Miss Dorothy Sampler, and that's because she went kind of into time out. Beautiful. Ugh. Guess who's coming out this week with all my other things, right? Okay, remember, so she went to timeout. Why did she go to timeout? Well, because the Orangena that I had, that's not orange. I was going to say, this is the Orangena that I had. And that was the Orangena. And I had only gotten one skein. I have now since learned my lesson. When you do a custom floss conversion, buy more than one skein. But you see all that orange and all that texture right here in this flower, right here. See all that? That's the floss. Just the magical floss. That's why I love me some overdye. But I was running out of Orangena, and she was called for lots of different places in the sampler. And like I said, when we talked about this before, I had given you my woe is me story about Orangena, and when I kitted it up, and then when I went back to InStitches, and the Orangena they had was like bright and in your face, and I was struggling. So I have 3 different stories about my solution. My friends have saved me. Now I have options and I'm so excited. I'm going to use all three of them. I'm just going to be honest with you. I think Orangena is like everywhere in this chart. It was right here, and then it's here, and then it's here, and then it's these flowers, and then it's down. Like, it's everywhere. So the great thing is, oh, and this house I think is like, well, it's not Orangena. I converted all the colors, but it's whatever that called for color was. So the great thing is I got 3 different solutions from 3 different friends that are fantastic. So blessed. And I can't wait to use all three in the sampler. So then I always remember like how my friends helped me. So friend one was Miss Shellie, Antique Needleworkers. And she's like, okay, so looking at your Orangena, you know, that looks like it is very close to one of my favorite colors, Cobbled Peach from Classic Colorworks. And isn't she right? Like, look, it's very, I mean, so it definitely takes the pinky undertones. Now, but you see this little hot pinky situation? It doesn't have any of that, but it definitely has the peachy variegations, right? Cobbled Peach. Then my friend, hold on, I was all organized. Then my friend Joyce from Arkansas said, okay, I think I found it. The key was the old card, right? The Crescent Colorworks. And I'm so excited. Oh. And she got me 2 skeins of this Orangena. Now, you know, so this is a prime example of how the colors, how the dye lots change. Yeah, that's just the same color. So this is the Orangena she sent me, and it's gorgeous. It is gorgeous. I cannot wait to make 1, 2, 3 of these flowers bright and vibrant. You know that I love color, like bright and vibrant. Those are gorgeous. So thank you so much, Joyce. And then my friend Carol, I was overwhelmed. Carol, who works at the attic, okay, in Arizona, she's like, okay, I think I found it. I was like, what? She goes, I think we have so look at that. So she sent me 2 Orangenas that were at the attic, and those are very similar to the Orangena that I used originally. So at least the ones that are going to be in the same flower pot or nearish. But look at these options. They're all fantastic. I'm so excited. Like I said, Dorothy is definitely coming out this week, and I'm going to use all 3 of these gorgeous flosses that my friends have shared with me to help me solve the problem of the dye lot. So hopefully you've learned from me, if you're doing a color conversion with overdye, which is always my jam, make sure you buy enough. But look, those are just so pretty. You know, it's the peachies, and this is the peachies with the orange, and then this is the brighter one. They're all in the same old card, but they're so different. Isn't that crazy? Crazy. But so thank you so much to Shellie, Joyce, and Carol. Thank you so much. While we're here, and since it's on the table, I wanted to give you a little bit of knitting update. So I do have a Tiger Lily shop update at the end, and I have something new and exciting for you, so stay tuned. But I wanted to share with you my knitting. I haven't shared it in a while. Yes, so because car knitting is my favorite. Like I said, I went down to Clemson this past weekend, which is why I wasn't able to film last week. It was homecoming weekend, so it's a 9-hour drive. And thankfully, I didn't have to drive the whole thing. Patrick drove 80% of the time, so it was fantastic. So I got some knitting in. So I wanted to show you, this is my gorgeous, this is my, I think it's called Fourth. It's by Zilda Teague. I think that's how, the same one that does the muscle blower hat. But instead of being huge, anyway, it's a different version of it. But why is it back on the needles? I wanted to tell you, so hopefully, so you can tell, it's at the needles, but I bound it off. Okay, so I was so excited. I was so excited. This was like right at the end. I thought I was done. It was going to be fantastic. Like, I even did a story saying, am I going to finish it? Be honest with you, I did. I bound it off. And I thought I was doing, because the pattern just says bind off in pattern. Okay, so full disclosure, I am a new knitter. Like, bind off in pattern. Okay, check, check. Let's do that. Okay, when you bind off in pattern at the top, the other hats I've done have been, it's kind of like a sock, cuff down. Well, this hat is like toe up, right? But, so it doesn't really matter if your binding, when you end here, is tight because it's at the top of your head. You're binding like 3 things off, right? It's not a big deal. But when you're binding at the cuff, and I probably would have learned this if I actually had a sock finish, but I don't. And right now I have a cuff down, so this isn't a problem. But if you toe up, your cuff is not just a regular binding. Like, if you're an advanced knitter, you're like, duh, this is not, duh. Okay, first time doing it. It wasn't a duh moment. It was a duh moment for me. Should have taken a picture. When I tried to put the hat on and my binding wouldn't stretch. I mean, this stretch is great, right? It's going to be great. But the binding wasn't stretching wide enough to go around my noggin. I was devastated. So I then spent the next hour in the car going back and picking up the 2 stitches down. And that's as far, and then it was my turn to drive. So I have picked up 2 stitches down, and now I'm going to undo this knot and hopefully pull back 2 rounds, pull back my binding and pull back, hopefully, 2 rounds. And then I'm going to go again. Now, I have since YouTube educated myself on a super stretchy cuff binding situation that will stretch just this wide. So the YouTube tells me. But cross your fingers for me that I picked everything up appropriately. Otherwise, but I don't know. So, TBD, but she's close. I know you guys were, I wanted to finish her. And then also, when she got put into timeout and I was just sad, I pulled out my sweater. Now, I am still on Sleeve Island. Yep. Still, is it 3/4 yet? I mean, that could be a look, right? No. So I told myself I could not start my shawl. I wanted to start my Clemson shawl that Shellie kitted up for me in Clemson. How great would that have been? But I followed my rules, self-inflicted, that I couldn't start another sweater or another bigger project until that sweater came out of my bag. So hopefully, but again, there's not enough time in the day. Let's just be honest. So that's the knitting. So let me give you a little bit of life update and then we'll do a story. No, let's do a shop update first. Shop update, and then I'll tell you life and stories and apple pie. Let's talk apple pie, shall we? Today is October 13th. Are you excited? I'm excited. Happy Friday 13th to you. Don't be scared. Good news. It's the 13th and don't be scared. Bad news is there will not be a drop on the 15th. I know. If you don't know what I'm talking about, like I make project keepers. Looks like this. I have a keeper club, and this is the reason why there's no drop. I have the October Keeper Club box, which we are T-minus 12 days till they ship out. They ship out on October 25th. By October 25th. I always shoot for a day or two early, but by the 25th, they will be dropped off. So that's going out. So I am drowning happily in a Keeper Club October. And then also in the meantime, just for funsies, I also have an Advent box. Both of these things are sold out. There's a wait list for the Keeper Club. Spoiler, not a spoiler. Informational, FYI information. If you are looking to get in the Keeper Club, there will be spots opening up starting for the January box. Those box spots will be offered to the wait list first, mid-November. more details to come. I will definitely give you plenty of time so you know the date when the email comes out with the link for the wait list, because it's a thing. There's not a whole slew of slots. There's not enough slots for all the people on the list, but there's slots opening up. That's the moral of the story. But in the meantime, I have the club box and the advent box. Both have exclusive keepers in them, and all the keepers are made with my 2 hands. And so I did not, that in combination with 2 trips to Clemson and a retreat, I wasn't able to curate an October 15th shop update of keepers. I'm sorry. I have plans. I have bolts of fabric, not these. Over here, you can't see secret, beautiful fabric. It is gorgeous for this fantastic November drop. When am I going to sew that? I have no idea. So I'm not going to make any promises. I have the fabric, step 1. When there's hours in the day to do it, I have no idea. And it might not happen. Maybe it's next November. I don't know. The fabric is beautiful. So I have plans, but the moral of the story is October 15th, there will not be a Keeper Club drop. But in the meantime, today on my website, I am dropping 2, one's a new product and one's a switch new collection of an existing product. Now, so let's talk about this. So you've seen, if you've been here for a while, you've seen me reference, of course, both of these are on generic ones. You've seen me reference my project information cards. Now, of course, I'm using the leftovers as from my Stitch cards. Originally, I sell these on my website for you to stay organized and keep track and in your bag. I love it. So that way, if you're a floss tuber or if you're somebody who wants to be able to share your changes and your starts, and it's just a fun way to keep track of, you know, when you pull it out of your bag, you're like, what color am I using? What fabric is this? When did I start it? Because if you have a WIP collection like me, all that information, you can't store it all in your brain. You just can't. Now you can put it in your book of days, but if your project library, your project trolley, your project buckets, bags, all the things gets too big, you can't keep track of all that. And one little daily planner is just too much. So I love my project information cards. Moral of the story. Hold on. So originally, when I came up with this original design, I just did this color floss, put my logo on the front. It was just hey, if you want to use my cards, here you go. It wasn't, but you guys love them. And I love them too. I have them in every single one of my bags. It's the only way that way I don't have to remember anything. Because let's be honest, I can't remember what I ate for breakfast. So not remembering what fabric, who makes it, when did I start it? Nope. Not going to remember that. So having this in my project bag is a game changer. And so, like I said, this was the original one. I've had these on my website for a while, this year at least, and you can buy them in packs of 10 or 50. That's what these were. Well, they were running low, if not sold out a week or 2 ago. So I decided to change things up for the new collection. So that is what's launching today. So this is the existing product that is getting a little bit of a switcheroo. So now it's a 1 package of 4 dozen. And they're going to come to you packaged, first of all, of course I had to do it. There's 48 cards, and I've packaged them individually in these clear cellophane just to keep yourself organized so they're not all loosey-goosey. You get 4 dozen, and I'm going to show you them in a minute, but they're 4 dozen individually packaged. So they're nice, clean, ready to go. The tracker cards are all the same on the back, but to keep them all organized and together for you, I could tie a ribbon. Now, hot pink hair tie. So excited about it. Just so you know, it works perfect for your hair. So it's a hot pink hair tie that just holds them all together rather than me tying a ribbon, because that's just something you're going to throw away. At least this is something you can use, and it's fabulous. So you get a package of 4 dozen. 4 dozen. And these are the 4 designs. So I'm calling these my Stitchy girls. So there are 4 different Stitchy girls. Like I said, they're all the same project information cards, but it's just fun to have pretty little girls on the front. Now, if you wanted to, of course, you could write more details whatever you want on the front, make notes, maybe write the dates that you actually, so that's the only thing that I've been thinking about is adding to the project card, some kind of like, how many days did I stitch on this information? For a big girl, like nobody wants to know 327 days. That's a little too much. But on the small, like, did it take me, you'll know the start and end date, but actually how many days did you stitch between those 2 days? Was it 5, 50? I don't know. So, you know, use it however you want. It could just be pretty. You could put the notes at the bottom. So, you know, I have a note section down here. This is where I put my hashtags that I use or any other notes about the color changes and things, any changes that I've made that I like to keep track of. And then, as I've told you before, when I'm done with my tracker cards, I put them in my cute little recipe box. And then I can just pull them out whenever you guys be like, what'd you stitch this on? These are all my finished projects. So once they come out of my project bag, they are not in any order at all, but then they get filed away so that, you know, 10 years from now, I can tell you what fabric and floss I stitched on that. How fabulous is that? So anyway, so that is in the website now. So they are 4 dozen, 1 dozen of each of the Stitchy girls ready for you to go. And then while I was in the Photoshop creating mode, so you have to have watched Antique Needleworkers. Miss Shellie is talking about her project library. And yes, I am drooling, waiting on the edge of my seat. So excited for watching this journey of her project library. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I will link her down below. It's her last video. She's talked about it briefly, but the moral of the story is you need to follow because this journey is going to be the cat's pajamas. I cannot wait to see all the secret things that are in there. 200 plus projects, not kitted, whipped, started. I don't know. I can't wait. I'm excited to watch with you. But the moral of the story is she called it a library and that was fantastic. Got my gears churning. I was like, okay, I don't have a 200 project library. Let's just be honest. I've talked about my WIP trolley. And one day I have to show you a picture. It's one of those tulip pink, like sewing machine, back when you used to take your sewing machine to like a quilty retreat, which I actually never did. But I have the tulip pink wheelie cart thing. But rather than putting my sewing machine in it, because I never take it anywhere, I put all my WIPs in it. So I don't know how many WIPs I have. Let's say, well, I don't know, 40? 50, 20, more than 20, 80. I don't know. This is what's going to get me organized because right now it's in the trolley and the trolley goes like this, but then I have more. So then it goes like this. And then sometimes it gets stacked on top. And so the moral of the story is I don't know what I have, where I have it. When I go, like I had to go find Dorothy. Okay. I'm going to be honest with you. Dorothy's been in timeout for a hot minute. So she might've been in the dark depths, cavernous area of the trolley. And that just wasn't acceptable. And so I was like, I need a better system. Let's get on it. Now, my system is going to pale in comparison to the library of Antique Needleworkers, but I'm super excited because I have a small collection. I can't wait to share. So right now you see my bookshelves, right? Yeah, you see fabric, shocker, sewing machine, fabric bolts. Over here, we've got yarn, 2 empty shelves. Now, if you've watched me on Instagram stories, I do kind of, sometimes you get sneak peeks, glimpses. You saw a sneak peek of a secret project that's coming up. That's now gone. But if you saw it, because I was stitching it on Saturday morning in Clemson, I took a picture of it for some reason. I thought I should share this super secret, don't tell anybody project. I had many people like, whoa, what? It's gone now. That's what happens. Stories, sometimes. Posts, I don't share secret stuff in the post, but I do share things. Anyway, so I definitely have showed you guys, but one of these shelves, it could be 2, are going to be my library. And so as a project keeper maker, 90%, now you've seen it, I have bags too, but I have a lot of keepers and they're like, no, so of course the shelves they have to be taller than that, but they fit on shelves, right? Now, this is what we're talking about right here. If you were on the Zoom for Stitch Your Stash, we were talking about So that's my other struggle, is I did not remember first world problems, right? I did not remember what gorgeous keeper Dorothy was in. Because then I would have just known, let's go digging for the Subonnet. I did not remember that. So not only did I have to go digging into the trolley, I had to then open up a bunch of keepers. Is this it? Nope. Is this it? No, I do know some. But again, circle back. Remember, my brain can't keep track of everything. I can't remember it all. And so how am I going to make my life easy? How to make my life easy. Now, Christy Keith, Miss Floss Basson cousin, had this fantastic, we were talking about, I don't remember how we got there. And she was showing these silver tags and I was zipper tags. And I was like, oh, project bags, you know, you could put a little thing on the thing, but I have a keeper. So the, you know, the zipper's not anywhere on the outside. And she's like, hello, there's a zipper at the top. And so she uses these silver or these white with silver rings, like paper. I'm not even sure. They're from Amazon. And I went and I looked and I was like, oh, those are fun. Those are fun. But I took it a step further. I found on Amazon, and I will link all this down below, right? These are, what are they even called? They're called travel supplies. I don't know. They're like for name badges, but they actually are advertised, I think, for like luggage hang tags, because they come with this lovely 5-inch plastic doodie thing, okay, that hangs out. So imagine, are you here for it? Imagine my books, my keepers all lined up in a row in the library with their, with their hang tags coming out because they're attached. Remember, I only use those yummy double long pull zippers so they have a nice chunky hole. It's none of that tiny zipper. You can't even hold it with your finger thing. Nice chunky zipper. Luggage tag from Amazon. And then I took one of the girls, one of my little Stitchy girls, and I made a project details card, luggage card. So it's got the chart, the designer, the start date, and any miscellaneous information that I want to put on here. So for example, this is Dorothy Sampler. Now I'll always know where she is. And then it's Fox and Rabbit is the designer. I'm stitching, this was my Mother's Day 2023 start that I kitted up with Lily at InStitches. And I'm stitching this on 16 count. So now that I am an Ada and linen stitcher, sometimes I could be in the mood for one versus the other. So that way I don't have to remember anything, because goodness knows I can't do it. So now this is on 16 count Ada, and I'm using custom colors. Shocker. That probably doesn't need to be said because 90% of the time I change the colors. So the moral of the story is, I made those for me, and I am adding them to the shop just in case this speaks to you and you're like, I want to organize my project library. Join us. I'm excited. I will link the Amazon things below. Super cheap, crazy town. But if you're getting yourself some project tracker cards and you want to pop 20, so I have these packaged in packs of 25, very reasonable project tracker cards that you can just pop and get yourself organized. Okay, so those are my new shop updates. And so it's not the Keeper Club for the 15th, but a little organization, fun products, more to come, but that's exciting. All right, friends, last but not least, let me just give you a little bit of life update because some of you guys really like to know and the fun. And anyway, because you're like my friends. So like I said, I went to Clemson this past weekend. It was homecoming weekend. So I'm an alumni of Clemson, but I also have both my kids there now. So my son is a third year and my daughter is a second year at college, first year at Clemson. So it was so fun. We went down on Friday. This time, rather than staying at a hotel, which is fun, which is great, which is what I normally do, we rented a lake house. So down in Clemson, they have two lakes. One is ginormous. It's Lake Hartwell, and it is a zillion miles. It spans all the way to Georgia. And the other one is Lake Kiwi. We usually rent on Lake Kiwi. It's smaller. But since I came up with this grand idea. Like 10 days before we left, there were no houses on Kiwi. So we got a house on Hartwell, which was great. It was perfect. So much fun. It was just a lot better. So when you go to visit me, struggle, both your kids are there. So the only time you can really sit with my kids. So the only time you take them out to dinner, or you take them shopping, or you walk around campus, and then it's like, what are we going to do now? Where like, I wanted a little more bang for my buck. I wanted more time with my babies. So my bright idea was, well, maybe if I get this house that has, you know, it was great. It was gorgeous. Lucked into it, and it had a beautiful kitchen, beautiful lake, beautiful dock. I mean, it's not really like boating weather. I wish it was. It was beautiful, but October, it's not like, hey, let's jump in the lake. It had a hot tub, didn't go in it, but you know, that's fun. But I was thinking, well, this way, like, we'll have a place for them to come. So on Sunday, we actually, because it was a long day weekend, we stayed Sunday, and that way, you know, they could just come and hang out. We watched football, we hung out. Like, it wasn't just to go to a restaurant, see each other for an hour, hour and a half, and then like, see you later. No, I got a lot. Lily stayed the whole weekend with us at the house because it was a big enough house where she had her own room. And so she come and stayed. That was a little, you know, he's 21 now. So Friday night and Saturday night spending with your mom is not on his to-do list, but that's okay. I got my Sunday and my Sunday dinner with his roommates came over. So it was super fun. It was a great time. Like, I'm kind of sad I don't have another football game booked for this season. This was my second one, parents weekend and then homecoming. So I will, if the video isn't already like too long, I'll add some Clemson clips because you guys love those. It was such a great, we tried to do as much as we can. Just, it's so fun. Love it. My happy place. So in the meantime though, what was funny is that last week when I told you on Instagram, on the stories, that I wasn't going to be able to film a Flosstube. But I was showing you how I was making apple pies. And so I was making apple pies. Nope. Maybe this was when Noah asked me. I don't remember. I've made apple pies. I made apple pies for Parents Weekend because that was Noah's birthday cake. And then I made apple pies again for this weekend because Noah called and said, Mom, don't you want to make me another pie? Well, of course I do. Of course I do. So my pies are labor intensive. I mean, apple pies are. You got to peel them, right? And so I showed you guys on Instagram, and this was the funniest thing. The spiralizer on my KitchenAid, it's the best gadget ever. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I will link it down below. It's the only way I make apple pies. And now I've come to figure out, Sarah's told me that it also peels potatoes. So this is going to be a game changer when it comes to like potatoes and things. But I've only ever used it for apples. But I made apple pies. I will share the recipe. Where am I going to share it? I don't know. I'll have to figure out if I can like pop it up as a PDF. Link down below will tell you how I share it. Whether I just copy and paste it in the description if I have enough room. I don't know if I will. Or if I can give you a link to a PDF. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But I will definitely share my apple pie recipe because it is bananas awesome. Cat's pajamas, banana sauce. It's cool as, it's bonkers awesome. That's all that is. It's fantastic. It's my son's favorite. I love it. It's a crumb topping situation, an apple pie. I only got one piece. I made 3 pies. I've had 1 piece. That's okay. All the people I love have had lots of apple pie. I don't need any apple pie, but it's good stuff. But I will share that with you. So that's about it. Like I said, I have just been like swimming, drowning, swimming. I'm swimming with. I'm not drowning. I'm loving it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Keeperland. It is Keeperland. And I am making the October box and the Advent box and all the keepers all the days long. And then I got to start getting everything together to put the boxes, Advent boxes in the boxes and the things, and then ship that out. And then like not even a day break until I start putting together the Advent boxes because those have to ship out lickety split too. And then also, you know, I'm going to Amana for the Farm Girl Dry Goods retreat, just, you know, in the fun of it all. So my goal is to get pretty far ahead of the game before I go to Amana, so I'm not sitting at Amana stressing out about all the work that's at home that I'm not doing. So that might need some log hours before then, but that's okay because then I can rest. I don't know. We'll see. Either way, busy, busy, busy. And I love it. I love it. I love it. And like I said, I have lots of things coming. There's too many things on my planning plate to share with you. Surprises. There's a surprise next week that is actually being shared next week. And I can't wait to share it with you. It's going to be on Instagram first. So if you want to see it before next Friday, follow me on Instagram. Link down below. If you're not on Instagram, it's a perfect place for stitchy people. So fun. So much enabling. So much eye candy. You can't even imagine. So fun. So I will share that on there first, but otherwise I'll show you next Friday. And then, because I will be back, I promise. And then the other thing I have working on, I don't know the timing of when I'm going to share it, but it's good. I can promise I won't say I think it's worth the wait. I think I'm excited about it. So hopefully but lots of things come down the pike. And of course I've got my 12 days of Stitchmas, December 1. I feel like I'm going to blink and it's going to be December 1. But I am trying to get ready for that. I will be doing the 12 days of Stitchmas again. 12 days, daily video, lots of fun. This is just a silent plug. If you are a small business and you want me to share anything during the 12 days of Stitchmas, reach out. Reach out now. I am curating my collection of small businesses. You know, it's my jam. I love it. But I can't find them all. So maybe you have one and I haven't found you yet. So you come find me and we'll work together and I will share. I'm so excited. I can't wait to share. So, and you know what, this time, first year I did cross stitch only. It's Flosstube, right? And then last year I did cross stitch and knitting because I had gone down the knitting rabbit hole. I'm just going to be honest. I'm going to open the door to all the things because I love all the things. And I love to share all the things with you. And so not only are we going to be enabling cross stitch and quilting and knitting and hooking, all the things, you also, maybe I'll give you the grand idea of the perfect gift for you to buy so-and-so via small business. So I'm excited. Reach out. Soft plug. Don't worry. I just want to share all the things. That's all the things. I want to share it all with you. And, it's just easier if you just like watching it in a video to be like, oh, check it out, check it out, check it out. So many things. Not enough time. All right, friends. So until next time, happy quilting, happy knitting, happy making, happy hooking, happy enjoy the fall. If you have a fall, we have lots of color change-ins. I'm excited. Patrick and I were talking about taking a skyline drive maybe next week if the fall colors. We'll see. I'm excited. But until next time, friends, happy stitching.